What's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to another episode of the Flea Flicker Show. You're joined by your host, Fred and Dre, as per the usual. The rest of the guys, they're too much of a party pooper, I guess, to actually want to jump on with us.
They're just so busy.
They're just so busy. They have so much going on. So much going on. They're all just crushing life.
Crushing life.
LJ is in between cities every other week. Josh he's got his whole AI trading card business up and running. Tyler, I don't know what the fuck Tyler's doing, but he's busy. He's busy. Anyway, let's don't want to chit chat too much. Let's get into the games here. I mean, it's playoff football, baby.
It is. It's very exciting.
It's playoff football, but NCAA football is completely over with.
It's over, and it was devastating for me. The entire playoffs.
The team we did not want to win, did not want to come out on top. They did. We expected that is how it's going to happen, and Ohio State just looked too damn good for Notre Dame.
Yeah, they sure did. I wasn't rooting for anyone in that game, so it meant nothing to me. I didn't even watch it, to be honest. But
I didn't either. I just got updates from my dad saying, these fucking corners, they can't cover shit.
Yeah, I didn't care.
These wide receivers are open every damn play.
I didn't care about any of the teams that were left in the playoffs in the past couple rounds. So what are you gonna do?
Of course you didn't. I did. I had a dog in the fight, but they're gone. They got out. But anyway, beside the point, they're gonna come back with a vengeance, be better next year with Arch Manning at the helm. So
we'll see. Speaking of your dog in the fight, real quick, I'm just curious. Do you think Quinn Ewers goes in the first round?
No.
Do you think he's dropping?
I mean, I could see a team potentially take him late first round because it's a bad quarterback draft, but he will be available. He should be available in the second round.
And that gets me thinking, as a Giants fan, we have the third pick in the draft. If Quinn's still available at the top of the second round, we could theoretically get a really good player that could play day one for us, and then also Quinn Ewers or maybe Jackson Dart, or whoever they decide is the best QB at the top of the second. I'd be totally down for that. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could totally get Travis Hunter and
that'd be amazing. Travis Hunter
and take Quinn Ewers in the second round. Quinn Ewers, I think, is far better than what his draft stock looks like right now. He looked like a completely different player after his injury. After his injury, he lacked mobility. As a passer, he just didn't look all quite there. I think he was still rusty for the remainder of the season, and that plays a huge part. Because when you saw him last year, you saw him at the beginning of this year, and the dude can sling the ball. He throws a good deep ball. He did not look like the same quarterback in the back half of the season.
Yeah, I still like Quinn Ewers. I like him better than Shedeur Sanders, honestly. I know that's not really a popular take, I suppose, but...
I mean, for your sake, then, you better hope the Browns take Shedeur Sanders, because the Titans are probably taking Cam Ward, and you guys are enamored with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, we're probably going to end up with Shedeur Sanders, unfortunately for me. I mean, if he kills it, then whatever, I'll get over myself, but...
Yeah. I think Quinn Ewers is certainly more likable. He's got a Gardner Minshew-esque kind of way about him, but he's probably more talented than Gardner Minshew.
I'd say definitely more talented.
Yeah. So, grow the mullet back out.
Grow it out.
Little mustache going. That's your swagger, baby. Bring it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it back. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of the mustache. So.
Yeah, but we want to get into the recap of the divisional round games, correct?
We certainly do. And to recap our standings, none of us did too hot last week because we all picked the Lions. We started off with one W at least.
I feel like most people did.
Yeah, most people did. To recap on the standings so far after 2 rounds, after the wild card and divisionals, myself and LJ are at the top at 7-3, although LJ's Super Bowl contender is eliminated. Followed by yourself, Dre, at 6-4 here in the playoffs, but your Super Bowl contender is eliminated. Yep. And then you got Ty and Rusty, tied for 5-5. Tyler's Super Bowl champ is eliminated. That was just like LJ the Lions. And Rusty, he's still got the dog in the fight for the Super Bowl winner, but his record of 5-5, not too shabby.
Did he pick the Chiefs?
Not too good. He picked the Eagles.
Oh, you both got the Eagles. Lame.
We both got the Eagles.
Let's hope they lose. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. He did pick a bird bowl though, so he is not correct there. I am the only one that still has potentially the correct Super Bowl pick,
Because you
which
picked
was
the
Bills Eagles.
douchiest. Oh, you picked the Bills. Okay. That's not the
Yeah.
douchiest then.
You think I picked the Chiefs?
In my head, you picked the Chiefs for some reason.
No, I picked the Chiefs to lose first round, guy.
That's right. You did.
Well, not first round. I picked them to lose this round.
They've been hurting you.
One of my L's. Speaking of that, let's recap that game real quick. Let's recap Texans and the Chiefs. The Texans ended up losing this game, much to America's dismay. No one wanted the Chiefs to win except for Chiefs Nation, and Chiefs pulled off the win. In my opinion, the Chiefs did not look all that good. They were helped out in quite a few clutch situations by the refs. The Texans outgained them. Their defense looked better, and Texans should have maybe won that game. But I think a combination of the Texans shooting themselves in the foot with their own penalties and own mistakes, packaged with the refs for Kansas City, it was just a recipe for a lot.
Yeah, that game just annoyed the shit out of me, to be real. Like most people, I thought a lot of the calls that Mahomes got were ridiculous, and I lost a tremendous amount of respect for Mahomes when he flopped out of bounds.
Yeah, this was one of the more egregious games, I think, for calls that went for the Chiefs in their favor that were very questionable, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that the Texans should have won. I'm just saying it was just gross to watch some of the calls.
Yeah.
I would have been fine.
You can play should have, would have, could have all day.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs very well could have won this game outright. And the Chiefs are too good of a team to have the refs and all these calls in their back pocket all the time. Because it just ruins the credibility of who they are anyway. I mean, they're a very good football team. They're well coached. They have the best quarterback of our generation right now. They have a phenomenally talented team, very good defense, good offensive line, but it's all tainted because of the bad look from the refs.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I really hope we don't see that this week. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But I don't know. I thought the Texans looked pretty solid. Their O-line was kind of getting destroyed by Chris Jones, which definitely affected how their offense could play and how C.J. Stroud could play. He had to get the ball out so quick sometimes, and he didn't have time to much of the time. Plus, their special teams unit let him down for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they allowed 8 sacks in this game. So, I mean, the Texans were in the backfield a lot of the time on Patrick Mahomes. Granted, they did get some penalties called them they shouldn't have, but they allowed 8 sacks. You cannot allow that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, C.J. Stroud, I mean, he was looking like he was in pain in that game. I think he went out at one point for a brief amount of time.
I think he did. But the amount of times that, like, they would be in Kansas City territory and take a sack for, like, a negative loss of, like, 12, 15 yards, like, that cannot happen.
Yeah. It was crazy, and I don't even blame C.J. Stroud. They were literally in his face immediately for quite a few of those sacks.
Yeah.
So
the amount of times guys just went completely unblocked, and we're back there, boom, just like that.
Yeah, it was bad. So the Chiefs get the win, though. Most people kind of expected it. I know you picked against it more so with your heart, but
yeah.
But anyway, let's get to the next game.
Yeah, moving over. Let's stay in the AFC though. We'll go to the Bills and the Ravens. They met in Orchard Park, and
actually,
this was a showdown.
I did want to say real quick before you get to that game, the Texans fired their coordinator Bobby Slowick yesterday.
Wow, I didn't see that.
I thought that was crazy news. I thought Bobby Slowick was one of the not one of the best coordinators, but I thought he was one of the better ones. I know they didn't do quite as good as last year offensively, but they got to the freaking divisional round of the playoffs, and I mean,
got to the divisional round of the playoffs when Stephon Diggs was injured halfway through the season. For the rest of the season, they lost Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Nico Collins was out for 7 games at some point.
Yeah, I don't really get it. Plus, they were like best friends, DeMeco Ryans and Bobby Slowick. They've been coaching together since like 2017 or 2018 or something. It shocks
Yeah.
me. It really does.
That's a shocking move. Shocking move. Also, shocking move is Dallas hiring their offensive coordinator as
Oh
their
my
head coach.
God.
I'm not even going to pronounce his name. I don't know his name.
Schottenheimer.
Completely unknown individual.
Well, that's Marty's kid.
Dallas fans must be shooting themselves in the foot right now. Like, they must be livid.
Yeah, it's a Jerry move. He knew his dad, Marty. He coached for a long time in the league, and honestly, was it Brian Schottenheimer? I think his name's Brian. If I'm getting that wrong, please someone correct me. But he's been around the league for a while. He just was never really viewed as a head coach candidate, especially in this cycle. So shocking,
Yeah.
very shocking for sure.
Brian Schottenheimer is the new
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I mean, if it works out for him, I guess Jerry's smart. But most people think it's not gonna. So
Yeah, most people think, including all Dallas fans who had seen him as their offensive coordinator.
yeah,
I
I guess
thought
it'll
for
work
sure
for
they were
Dak.
going to take Kellen Moore. From
Oh
Philly.
yeah, me too. The better coordinator that was with the Cowboys before Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
It's weird. Just a weird move.
Yeah.
The Raiders hired
While
Pete
we're on
Carroll too.
Yeah, while we're on that topic, I was going to say the Raiders hired Pete Carroll, so that's a good move.
Love
I think it's a
that.
good move for them as a culture standpoint to be able to
Yeah.
have somebody that can handle big personalities and set a winning mentality there in LV. So I think that's definitely a good move for them.
Yeah, I love that move. He's immediately the oldest coach, I think, in like history or something like
What is he,
that.
74?
He's 74, or he's gonna be 74 by the time the season starts. So yeah, he's old. He's definitely up there, but
Yeah.
he looked spry last time we saw him on the sidelines. So, and I don't think the
He
Raiders
did.
plan on
always,
having him
always
for.
chewing his gum. Always
Yeah.
chewing his gum.
I don't think the Raiders plan on having him forever, like a decade
No.
or anything. They just want to get the culture
No.
set. They want to get things moving, and then Pete can move to the next coach, kind of like Bruce
Bring in a
Arians
really
did with the
good-
Bucks.
Yeah, bring in like a really good OC and have him like kind of learn under Pete's tutelage and
Yeah.
take over once he's ready to step away. Because I mean, 73, 74 years old, he doesn't have a ton of time left to coach.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I like Pete Carroll. That's a rough division to go coach in.
Oh yeah,
A lot of great coaches, by the way. Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and now Pete Carroll. Those are four
Very good
legends of the game right there, all in the same
Hall of Fame
division.
coaches.
Yeah, literally. I think they will be
Yeah.
all Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, Jim maybe still has to do some more stuff, but
Yeah,
I think all Hall of
Um,
Fame caliber.
certainly. And as far as like other head coaching hires, you had Jacksonville keeping it in state, where they hired Liam Cohen, the OC from Tampa
That's-
Bay.
That's crazy
yeah.
work. That's crazy work how that one went down. Were you telling me about that, or no? I think somebody at work was. Did you hear the
Someone at work
backstory
at
of
your
that?
job must have. What's up?
Did you hear the backstory of that hire?
No.
Dude, it was nutty. So Liam Cohen got offered to be the highest paid coordinator in the NFL by the Bucks. So he pulled out of the running with the Jaguars to accept the Bucks offer to stay. But after he agreed to that, the Jags owner, Shad Khan, fired the GM of the Jaguars, Trent Baalke, because he wasn't like meshing with Liam Cohen and he wanted Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
So they reached back out to Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen doesn't show up to sign the contract renewal with the Bucks. He messages the GM of the Buccaneers. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he messages him and says his daughter is sick, so he's got to fly back to Jacksonville real quick to talk to her. And they're like, okay. And then he ghosts the Buccaneers. They're trying to call him, trying to email him. He's not responding. He's interviewing again with the Jags. And next thing the Bucks know, he's calling them saying, hey, I accepted the job with the Jags. I'm not coming back. Like, what?
Fuck.
He completely fucked over the entire Buccaneers organization. That's a
such a dick
bad
move.
look.
That's a bad look right there.
Granted,
that's
it's a head
terrible
coach
look.
job, and he's getting
It's
paid a
definitely
crap
not
load.
somebody. Definitely not the culture you want to bring into to Jacksonville.
That's a bad start. That is a bad start. He gets to pick his
that
own
lies
GM,
and
though.
works behind closed doors to try to get what
Yeah.
he wants. So
And this is a guy that's kind of known for that stuff now. I don't know if you know Liam Cohen's backstory at all, but I live near the University of Kentucky in Lexington. We definitely know him here. He left Kentucky to be the coach of the Rams when Kentucky wanted him to stay. and then he leaves the Rams back to Kentucky because we like talked him into coming back to help us out because he coached Will Levis before, and then he again leaves Kentucky for the Buccaneers coordinator job last year. Spurns Kentucky twice. And now he's doing the same to the Bucs. I don't know. I don't like him. I just don't like the guy at this point.
He's a fuckboy of coaches.
Yeah, I like, what frat was he in? Please let me know. I bet he's got stories there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's touch on the other ones. We've already talked about most of them. I think we talked about Ben Johnson already being hired.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about it on here, but everyone knows about Ben Johnson getting hired pretty much immediately for the Bears.
Good hire for the Bears.
It's a good move for them.
Rough for the Lions.
Yeah.
Same division.
Rough
that's
for the
rough.
Lions, certainly. But he draws up pretty insane plays. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that offense.
Somebody Caleb Williams needs.
Yeah, and then obviously we talked about New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, great move for them as far as a culture standpoint.
Yeah.
And Aaron Glenn, also in Detroit, getting hired for the New York Jets job. We thought they would hire a defensive-minded head coach, and they did.
Yeah, I thought it was either him or Brian Flores. I like Brian Flores a lot, but I don't think they went wrong at all with hiring Aaron Glenn, that's for sure. I like him as well. I think that's going to be a good culture move for them. So.
Yeah. Now, their only job remaining open is the Saints, right?
Yes, that is the only job remaining. And they brought in Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins D coordinator. They brought in Mike Kafka, the Giants O coordinator. I hope they hire him. And I like Kafka, but he doesn't do anything for us, which is weird. I don't think those are like kind of realistic candidates for them unless things backfire. They're bringing in Mike McCarthy for interviews. And the other top two coordinators they're looking at are Joe Brady and Kellen Moore, who are both O coordinators playing in the conference championship week.
I'm actually surprised that there isn't more talk of Cliff Kingsbury for Washington.
Well,
because he completely turned around that offense there. That offense is electric, and he's been a head coach in the NFL before. So it wouldn't be his first go-around. I'm surprised there's not more talk there.
Yeah, the only team that seems to have seriously considered him was the Bears, and obviously they got Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I did hear that the Saints were interested in talking to him, but don't quote me on this, but I think he wanted to focus on the playoffs, so he didn't take that interview, and now they can't interview him until the Commanders are out of the playoffs. So we'll see. I don't think they're gonna go with him anyway. I think it'll be either Joe Brady. I think it'll be Joe Brady. That's what I think is gonna happen for the Saints. It could be Kellen Moore. It could be Mike McCarthy. I think it will be one of those three, but I'm going with Joe Brady off the top of my head.
It'd be hilarious if it was Mike McCarthy.
Dude.
Because that man does not deserve a job.
No. The Saints are, however, they got to handle their cap situation. I think that's the biggest thing with the Saints. And McCarthy would be one guy that could come in and handle the coaching while the cap situation gets worked out. At least be a placeholder, if anything else. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, let's get back into these games.
Yeah.
To recap, Bills, Ravens, very close game, very good game. Bills took this one 27-25. It was down to the wire. And really, it was a sure-handed Mark Andrews who dropped the 2-point conversion in the last seconds of the game that would have sent it to OT, or at least given the opportunity for OT. The Bills still could have gone down the field and gotten a field goal, but that didn't end up having to happen because he dropped it. So, there you go.
That was a crazy game. I kind of wish I picked the Bills. But in my head, I want the Bills for the Super Bowl, and I picked the Bills for the Super Bowl. But in Flea Flicker, I picked the Ravens for some strange reason. I was happy with the Bills winning.
No one picked the Bills, though.
I thought somebody did. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought somebody did. But I wanted to pick the Ravens because nobody picked them. Apparently, nobody picked the Bills. So that's on me. I'm stupid. But I'm gonna be rooting for the Bills anyway. I got a Bills jersey on, baby. But yeah, that game was really fun, really exciting, really good. It's not all on Mark Andrews, although the biggest two plays in the game probably were both on Mark Andrews. Lamar did throw some picks. He was forced into some turnovers by the Bills defense. They played quite good against a really good offense. Derrick Henry was mostly stopped, for Derrick Henry at least, which is crazy work. And yeah, I really hope they beat the fucking Chiefs. That's basically what the whoever won this game, I was rooting for to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Josh Allen didn't do anything in the air, but he had what, 2 touchdowns on the ground?
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. My boy Ray Davis had a touchdown on the ground. They all 3 touchdowns right there stolen from James Cook, much to the chagrin of people that were betting on James Cook. But yeah, it was a fun game.
I needed a James Cook touchdown to cap all eyes on one of my bets there last weekend. So.
Yeah, I think you and Tyler both, right? Got screwed.
Yeah, he fucked us. He needed like 10 yards from James Cook.
Yeah. And then and they gave that carry to their 3rd string running back, didn't they? Wasn't it?
Ray Davis.
I don't think it even was it Ray Davis? I thought it was the 3rd string.
Ty Johnson?
Yeah, wasn't it Ty Johnson? I don't remember, to be real.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter either. Yeah, that game was a fun one. Let's move over to the NFC. NFC, you had a wild fucking upset. The Detroit Lions took on the Washington Commanders. Everyone's favorite to win the Super Bowl this year was the Detroit Lions. Potent offense, but beat up defense. That defense proved to be their Achilles heel because they got absolutely torched by the offensive side of the ball from Washington. Washington put up, 43 points?
Something like that, yeah. It was
45,
crazy.
45 to 31. So Washington still could not stop the Lions' offense, but it didn't matter. Whoever scores more wins the football game, and it was Washington in this case. Everyone was involved. And Detroit fumbled the bag here. But it's based on basically their injuries. What can you do?
Yeah, it was really upsetting. I figured there was going to be one upset in that round. I didn't think it was going to be the Lions, but I also didn't have faith that it wouldn't be the Lions in my head because that's just how the NFL works.
Detroit.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad the Commanders won it just because of how that performance went. The Eagles might have scored 60 on them. Like, what the like, god dang, you know? Plus, Eagles Commanders is just kind of like, I mean, for a Giants fan, it's rough, but it's kind of sick for a conference championship
game NFCs
to be a divisional rivalry, you know?
Yeah, and speaking of that, let's move on from that game. Let's talk about the Eagles game here real quick.
Yeah.
Very close game. I think you and I talked about the weather going into it, that it was going to snow. And once that snow came, it was going to be to the benefit of the Eagles, and it was. Saquon Barkley was able to run all day, broke a couple of huge ones. That one for 78 yards with him banging his helmet in the snow. Amazing footage. And it's on a hype tape with Brian Dawkins doing a voiceover. It's fucking sick.
Damn, I didn't see it.
But yeah, when the passing game finally got started for the Rams late, which was wild, guys would be in position on the defensive side of the ball and not know where the ball was. So it's pretty weird to see people actually passing in that heavy snow. But ended up going in the favor of the Eagles, and the Eagles took the W there. Had me sweating though. I thought we were going to lose it there at the end.
It was getting close. Stafford wanted it, man. He really wanted it at the end there. You could tell. The whole team did. And obviously it didn't end up happening, but it must be really nice to be an Eagles fan right now. That's all I got out of that game. They got two offensive rookie of the year candidates on that team, or defensive rather.
Defensive rookie of the year candidates there. An
Saquon.
MVP candidate, assistant coach of the year candidate with God, what am I blanking on the name? The defensive coordinator.
Fangio.
Vic Fangio, yeah.
Kellen Moore looking for a head coach job because he's doing so good. The O-line, you somehow make everyone that fails everywhere else be like fucking all-stars.
It's Jeff Stoutland University, baby. He just turns everyone into a great offensive lineman. He scouts them well and trains them well.
I guess. Giants can't do anything right, so it's devastating for me, but...
So you already said Eagles won that game. So we'll start off with that matchup since it's already been said. Eagles, Washington Commanders, NFC East matchup. I don't know. Is that what we have first?
That is what we have first. That's the first game. They play at, 3:30 tomorrow?
Yep.
So, yeah, this is going to be a fun freaking game. These are played... Yeah, this will be in Philly. So
this is going to be in Philly.
Good God. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I don't know if you looked that up. Either way, this is going to be an insane game. I think this is going to be an offensive explosion. The defense, I don't know, man. The Commanders and the Eagles, like, it's such a good matchup for the Eagles. Jaden Daniels has gotten much better. He was good to start off with, but he's gotten even better since the season started. So, I mean, they're definitely going to run some dangerous plays, and maybe they can catch the Eagles off guard sometimes and surprise them with some stuff. But that defense should be able to, like, be in Jaden Daniels' face today or tomorrow when they play.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly should be able to, especially since Washington's missing interior defensive linemen.
Yeah. Did Cosme went down,
interior
right?
defensive line with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams there right up front. It's going to be hard to stop them, especially Jalen Carter. If you can't double team him, look out.
Yeah, luckily they do have Jaden Daniels, and he can get away and make moves on the run, but it's going to be a dangerous game for him and for the Commanders' entire offense. I do think they're going to get the best of the Eagles here and there with the offense, but it's just too dangerous. This is your team. I'll let you talk.
Yeah. I mean, first off, just looking at history side, the home team in the NFC Championship game has won every year except for 1 year since 2013.
Really?
So history side, it looks like the Eagles. The only team to win as an away team was Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Brady.
And that's the greatest quarterback arguably ever.
I don't even know if it's arguable at this rate, but yeah.
No, he's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. I say arguable just for the sake.
People that get pissy.
You can argue it, I guess. I don't know. Who are you going to argue it for? I don't know.
John Elway. Anyway. Best quarterback I ever watched. Okay, Grandpa.
Troy Aikman.
Go get back in your rocking chair. No. I'm
putting
you on the Eagles.
Say, like,
I know what's happening.
Washington's been fun. Their ride's been fun here, but they still gave up a ton of points last week and got the benefit of a Detroit defense that was like 2/3 of their defensive starters were on the IR, which is crazy. They're not getting that this week in Philly, where Philly boasts top defense in the NFL. A healthy Philly team is a tough team to beat, and they're healthy this week, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're very tough for them to hang with. The first time around, you saw Cooper DeJean and Quinn Mitchell holding Terry McLaurin to one catch for 5 yards. That's not going to happen here, one catch for 5 yards, but I don't necessarily think he's going to ball out either. The first matchup, they held Jaden Daniels to under 200 yards passing, which hasn't happened in many games this year. He typically erupts. So they weren't very explosive. I don't think they're going to be too explosive this game. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a bloodbath, but I think the Eagles are coming up with a W here.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I dislike both of these teams. I dislike the Eagles more, but with Saquon Barkley and some of the other players on the team, it's just been a very confusing season for me, to be honest.
And I know Washington won the second matchup in Washington, but interdivision games are always tough when you have to go to the other team's field. And Jalen Hurts didn't play after the first 2 drives in that game, and that's when Washington kind of was able to stop the Philly offense under Kenny Pickett. If you can't generate offense in the defense, and they're going 3 and out every single time, I mean, you know this with the Giants. Regardless of how good the defense is, eventually they get gassed, and they're going to get beat. And that happened in the fourth quarter there when Washington scored 3 touchdowns. So,
Yeah, I imagine Saquon will go off again in this game, but if
Saquon's on a mission. He's on a mission, dude.
Yeah, if the Commanders are able to slow him down, though, I will say that seems to be the way that they can try to beat the Eagles, maybe the best way, because Jalen Hurts hasn't really had to do much of anything in the playoffs yet. It's been all Saquon all day, so if they can try to somehow slow him down, I don't think they will.
Somehow. Yeah, I don't think they will either. And Hurts has shown that he can throw the ball when needed.
Yeah.
He just doesn't need to.
Yeah, he would have to.
I mean, if your running backs give you 150, 200-plus yards every single game, you don't need to. Another thing I will say plays into Philly's favor is Philly is a very emotionally driven team and an emotionally driven city. And right now, Washington, the players, the coaches, the fan base, everyone's talking a lot of shit. A a lot of shit, including the defensive coordinator saying basically that if Jalen runs, they're going to hit him hard like a running back. And if they injure him, they injure him.
Is Philly not talking shit? I feel like they probably are too.
I mean, the fans are. I haven't seen the players do anything. But
No?
The fans always talk shit. But yeah, I think it's pissing Philly off in terms of the players. I mean, Saquon Barkley said after the last meeting with Washington that they were talking so much trash that all he wanted was Washington in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you got him.
So we'll see.
Rusty and LJ and Tyler. Do you have their picks?
I do. Tyler's picking the Commanders. Rusty and LJ are both picking the Eagles.
I love it. Did Tyler say anything about that Commanders pick? I'm just curious.
No.
So
he doesn't pick the Eagles.
Yeah, like we've mentioned before, he has not picked the Eagles like all year, I don't think.
No.
And that's probably why, his
That's
win-loss ratio is in the gutter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you pick them to lose every game and they win 14, it doesn't look good on your record.
It'll be great for him if the Commanders win this, though. He can catch back up, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what we got for this game. It should be a fun one. I don't really care too much who wins that one. But
I would say so far in the playoffs, regardless of who gets the most yardage on offense, the team that wins the turnover battle has been the team that's won every game. So look for that to continue. And that's where the opportunistic defense comes into play for Philly.
Except Texans Chiefs.
Texans did outpace the Chiefs in terms of yardage.
Yeah, I mean turnover-wise, I don't think they turned over the ball at all, right?
I know. CJ had a pick.
I didn't think he did. I thought he threw no picks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was.
Probably had a pick.
He did have a pick.
Not throw a pick. It was even. No team turned the ball.
Okay,
over,
so I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the theory still holds, which makes sense, So we'll see. Let's move to the AFC Championship game. Speaking of the Chiefs, it is in Kansas City. The Bills are coming to town. We're going to get another from the battle between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. It's been going on since they were both drafted into the league. And I can't wait for this game. It's going to be another chapter in the storied career of these most likely Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I mean, Mahomes for sure. I think Allen, he's still got some things to do, but I think at the end of the day, he probably will be too. And this is going to be one of those games that will be talked about when they're discussed at the end of their careers. And I think this will be a great game. I'm pumped for it. I'm wearing the Bills jersey. Let's be honest. We know where I am going with this one, and that is with Buffalo. I think this defense, they slowed down, I'd say. Derrick Henry. I think they're going to be able to slow down this Chiefs offense that is not as good, in my opinion, as the Ravens. So all it really is will the Bills offense and will the refs be able to let this game go in the Bills' favor? I think it'll come down to the wire, and I'm pumped for it.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's going to be crazy. I'm ready. Let's go, Bills.
Josh Allen's going to be a fucking bull in this game. He's 0-3 against Mahomes, and that is going to end this week. It's going to end. It is about damn time. I mean, they say there's something to be said about a team that is due for a win, and they are due for a win here. The Chiefs don't look all great, like you said, and the Bills did slow down one of the best offenses in football. And forced a quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who does not turn the ball over a whole lot, to be very turnover happy last game. So, should be interesting here.
Yeah, they play at 8 or 8:20, one of the two. I can't remember, but they play around 8. So it's going to be a night game. I'm so pumped for it. My boy.
They play at 6:30.
Marshawn Lynch. I bet he'll be in attendance, right? I don't know. I hope so.
He should be in attendance.
Former Bills
Get
player.
them boys pumped, baby.
Yeah, Bills fans deserve this win. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since what, the since the Jim Kelly days, and they went 0 for 4 back then. So they deserve to get back into the Super Bowl. The Chiefs don't deserve shit, in my opinion. But obviously they're still good. It's going to be such an entertaining game. I'm ready for it. The Bills' defense really just has to get at Mahomes, make him turn the ball over, or make him at least feel the pressure to throw that ball out when he doesn't want to. Make him win that game. Make Mahomes win it on his fucking arm. Which, hey, Mahomes has done that in the past. Obviously,
he can. But right now, I think the Chiefs are getting too comfortable. I think Mahomes is getting too comfortable. They expect those calls. They expect to win just because of the Chiefs, not even because they deserve it. So I think it's time to shut them up here. And the Bills are certainly a team that can do that. They're a gritty team. They're a fun team. I saw someone the other day said on one of the communities was like talking about how Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are, in terms of roughing the passer calls. Mahomes has like 4 less than Josh Allen and like 5 less than Tom Brady. And the numbers were since 2009. And I was like, okay, buddy, since 2009, Tom Brady played and retired in 2023. So that's 14 years compared to 2018 for both of these guys here. And Josh Allen runs a lot more than Patrick Mahomes. So put that into perspective. There's a lot of roughing the passer calls on Patrick Mahomes. Whether they're justifiable or not is up for debate, but hopefully the refs do not get involved too much in this one.
Yeah, plus the Chiefs' O-line has pretty much always been better than the Bills' O-line from my memory. So Josh Allen's definitely had hands on him way more than Mahomes. So yeah.
He just doesn't bitch about it as much.
Really ever. Like he lays down hits, whereas Mahomes...
Yeah. He lowers his shoulder. He's not scared of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not scared of the competition or the contact.
I will say I am kind of nervous about the NFL just wanting the Chiefs to get that three-peat since Mahomes is the poster boy. So that makes me really nervous. But if it looks like the Texans game again with just a bunch of crazy calls in Mahomes and the Chiefs' favor, I really think NFL fans and NFL players are going to be like, dude, this is too much. Like, throwing up their arms. Yeah. Like, do they really want that? I don't think so. Who are you taking?
I don't think so. And I don't know if you believe in the colors of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Logo. The Super Bowl numbers are green and red. So we'll see if that holds any type of weight, and if the teams that are in the Super Bowl are also green and red. Because if that's the case, it's the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah, the Bills do have a red stripe. Maybe you can say they still count.
maybe they do have red alternates. They're wearing their red alternates, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
So maybe right. Maybe. The team that's wearing depends on the jersey color. If they wear their red alternates, maybe they'll make it in.
I don't know. I'm ready for this game, though. Who are you picking?
Oh, I'm picking the Bills, baby.
Yep. Tyler and LJ, I believe, are both picking the Bills, right?
They're both picking the Bills.
I love it.
And Josh is picking the Chiefs. Go Buffalo.
Yeah, and Rusty said when he picked this game, he was like, hey, fuck the Bills. So that makes me want them to win even more. So, fuck you, Rusty. How about that? Yeah, it should be a fun game. Right. Ready for it. Excited. One last event to go over is our Super Bowl picks. We got some people that are going to change a little bit. I asked no one, so I'm going to be making this up.
Well, you know mine, and you know Rusty's, because we both picked the Eagles.
You and Rusty are going Eagles, of course. LJ and Tyler, I believe I also know.
LJ, say Bills. Tyler, just say Washington.
Tyler Washington, you think?
Just say Washington.
LJ Bills.
Thinks it's going to be Washington Bills, but...
LJ Bills for sure. I thought Tyler would pick the Bills. You're going to... Let's say Washington. Let's mix it up. Why not? Well, that won't mix it up too much. I'm also going to go Bills with LJ. My head says the Eagles at this point will probably win it. I'm going to be honest.
That's right, baby. That's right.
But I'm going to go with the Bills and hope and pray and just really hope that the Bills can pull it off. So there we go. Those are our picks for the Super Bowl now that three of us had to make changes. Let's get to these
honestly,
championship games.
An Eagles-Bills Super Bowl would be so much fun.
It would be hectic with this friend group, if anything.
With the fan bases, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be chaos. Absolute chaos at the tailgate. It'd be amazing.
Jason Kelsey will be there for sure, if that's the case.
He will not be allowed in the game because he'll be too hammered.
He will own the pregame though. Do they do pregame for the Super Bowl? Like I know it's like a rich person event at this rate, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Pregame
if they
people
don't,
even go.
Jason would make them.
He would force it.
He would just bring in whatever locals are there and just be like, "I'm paying for it. Come in here.
Yep.
Let's get fucked up."
But yeah, I don't really have anything else. We've been talking 40 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you got?
And that Super Bowl's in New Orleans, right?
It is. It is in New Orleans, so exciting stuff. They can go down to Bourbon Street after the game if they win and just go crazy.
Get fucked up.
Good for them. Good for the winner of the Super Bowl, whoever that may be. Hopefully not the Chiefs.
Can bring the Eagles Broad Street Bullies mentality to Bourbon Street.
Hey, we'll see.
The Bourbon Street Bullies.
The Bourbon Street Bullies. Yeah, that's all I got though, man.
All right, cool. That's a wrap. Another episode. Playoffs are fun. Playoffs are golden. It's golden for me at least because my guys are still in it. But let's go Birds, baby.
Yeah, let's go Bills, baby.
Make sure to like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts, and on Instagram.
Marshawn, baby. Until next time, boys. Peace.